bit of a difficult year. We've had the extra earthquake costs, which are the biggest extra cost from the 23rd of December earthquake last year. But otherwise, spending's reasonably well controlled, and revenue is somewhere there where we expected. And this is just part of the longer time that it's taking for the economy to pick up and for the government's books to get back in order.
Wasn't it for your target of getting back to surplus in 2014-15?
Well, look, the month-to-month accounts don't make much difference to where we're going to be in 3 years' time. I mean, the important thing is, for getting back to surplus, is to have fundamentally a more competitive economy. So it's important to keep that in mind. Containing government spending matters, and we have focused very much on the effectiveness of the spending, but in the long run, we need a more productive, competitive economy. So that means that all the changes that we're looking at making through a range of things, from the Building Act to the Resource Management Act to the oil and gas exploration program, are all just as important as the surplus.
But the direction of the data is all moving in the wrong way in terms of that target, isn't it? It's been for some time.
Well, look, it's been just as challenging for government as it's been for businesses and households. It would be easier, certainly, if the economy was picking up faster or the global economy was in better shape. But it isn't. I think the government machine's shown itself to be pretty resilient, while there has. What's actually happened is the tax revenue's been a bit lower, and there's been some extra costs from the earthquakes, but essentially the spending has been under control now for a couple of years. And I think that's a tribute to the efforts made in the public service, and I'm confident that we're getting the right attitudes, the right kind of determination that will help us get to surplus in 2014.
GST revenue's down. Does that say that the tax cuts mean that it's not fiscally neutral?
Well, no, the GST revenue is a product of the earthquake, so one of the main issues there is, as I'm advised, is a high level of GST refunds when insurance payouts are made. So it indicates there's substantial insurance payouts being made that's sitting in bank accounts. The government's had to pay the GST refunds. When that money is spent on rebuilding, then we'll get the GST back. But that's just going to take some time.
So it doesn't have so much to do with people spending less?
No, although people are being pretty cautious with their spending. I mean, they're spending a lot less. The growth in their spending is much slower than it was 3 or 4 years ago, but the forecasts have incorporated that now. So the whole system has adjusted to higher savings rates, because people are saving more, more careful spending. And when people do lower inflation, all of those things make the tax revenue just a bit lower than it used to be.